Hey guys, Scott Mitchell here from Piece Perspective. So we're going to start getting into reviewing video games. Exciting, hopefully. One thing we're going to do is we're going to try to do a couple of reviews and see how feedback is and go from there. But we're also going to try to do it in a different way. A lot of game reviewers have a score of, 1 through 10 or 1 through 5 or a letter grade. And they try to quantify the game in terms of that, which a lot of gamers complain about all the time, because how can you really quantify something like that? It could depend on how the reviewer's viewing it a given day, or if it's just an artistic medium, which video games hopefully are trying to be. How can you really say one is better art than other? You really can't. It's all about the experience. One thing we do for hardware is that we have badges. So the crap award, which may or not exist, but normally what we do is we start with giving it no badge, or a bronze, silver, gold, or a Editor's Choice Award. What we're trying to do is use this system to quantify how much we enjoyed the game, if it's got a really interesting storyline, if it's a guilty pleasure or something, it will get a high score or a low score on the how good of a game it is category. But in terms of PC games, it's really difficult for a PC gamer to get a game they actually enjoy, right? Developers tend to not optimize for a PC platform, oftentimes port it from one to another. So we're actually going to use a number system method, we're testing this out at least, as a way of rating a game as a PC game. So if it's just outright broken or the DRM kills it or whatever, it's going to get a fairly low score on that. If they try to go above and beyond, give them all the key binding needs possible, or for example in Wings of Liberty, they brought back the old click around in the Hyperion and talk to people that you used to see back in like Wing Commander days. That would rate them a lot higher because they're not just doing a good PC game, they're trying to focus on PC gamers. So that 1 through 10 scoring mechanism, we're going to try to basically call out developers who really try to focus on the PC and give them a high score. Let them focus on what makes PC gamers happy and give them the score that comes right out of it. So which means when you're actually looking at our reviews, you're going to have two things to recognize. You're going to have a badge for how good the game we thought was, and a number which should be how good it is we think technically. Two different methods of quantifying a game. When you're going to actually figure out how good a game is in general, you're probably going to want to look more at the badges. The Editor's Choice Award, the games are really going to be keeping going back to. But at the same token too, we're not going to let people get away with making a console port, because that's going to bomb the numerical score, right? So hopefully this is going to be a good thing and be a start of much more to come. So we'd like to hear from what you guys think, and enjoy the content. We got a lot coming up soon.